As the shuttle docked with a gentle thud at Horizon's edge, Jack Mercer peered out of the porthole, his eyes scanning the sprawling structure that glittered against the backdrop of space. The station served as a melting pot for cultures from across the universe, a place where beings from different worlds converged and mingled. Stepping onto the station, Jack adjusted his translator device, a small earpiece that buzzed softly as it calibrated to the myriad of languages spoken here. He was greeted by Captain Alyavas, the station's commander, a stern yet fair leader known for her adept management of such a diverse place. "Welcome, Jack Mercer. I trust your journey was without incident." Captain Voss extended her hand, her voice resonant through Jack's translator. "Smooth sailing all the way, Captain." "It's an honor to be here," Jack replied, shaking her hand. His gaze lingered on the panoramic windows that offered a view of deep space. "Your reputation precedes you, Mr. Mercer. The Council is eager to see how your expertise in xenolinguistics will help us with a new alien dialect we've encountered," she said as they began walking through the bustling corridors of the station. Jack nodded. "I've reviewed the preliminary data, and it's unlike anything we've come across. Any interaction with this species yet? Minimal. They're cautious, understandably so. They call themselves the Kthrani. We believe establishing communication will help in forming a peaceful relationship," Voss explained, leading him to a high-tech lab buzzing with activity. Inside, various species work together, their features ranging from the humanoid to the utterly indescribable. Jack's eyes widened in fascination as he took in each unique form. A tall insectoid creature handed him a tablet filled with cryptic symbols, the language of the Kthrani. "Dr. Mercer, meet Dr. Slith," Voss introduced the creature. "One of our top cryptolinguists." "Pleased to meet you," Jack said, extending his hand awkwardly. Slith's antennae twitched, and a series of chirps filled the air, instantly translated by Jack's device. "An honor, Dr. Mercer. Your human perspective is most awaited." Jack smiled, feeling the thrill of the unknown. "I'm eager to learn from you all. What's our first step?" "We start with what we know," Slith clicked, leading him to a holographic display that projected the Kthrani's language in three-dimensional space. "Observation and immersion. You must understand their context, not just their words." As they delved into the intricacies of the language, Jack felt a profound sense of purpose. Horizon's Edge was more than a station. It was a symbol of universal collaboration. Here, far from Earth, he was about to embark on what might be the most significant work of his career. The hours passed quickly as they exchanged theories and techniques. Jack's ability to draw parallels between vastly different languages impressed even the seasoned linguists of other species. When the shift ended, Jack and Slith shared a meal in the communal dining area, where discussions ranged from linguistics to the more personal stories of their lives. Jack talked about Earth, about the oceans and mountains, while Slith described the floating gardens of their homeworld. As the station's artificial night began to fall, Jack looked out at the stars. He felt a deep connection to the endless possibilities that lay before him. Here, in the quiet of space, surrounded by the unknown, Jack was not just a visitor. He was a vital bridge between worlds. And his journey had just begun. Chapter 2: Echoes of the Unknown. The next day began with an unexpected invitation from Dr. Zane Harlow, a renowned human astrophysicist on Horizon's Edge. Known for his eclectic approach to science and diplomacy, Zane had expressed a keen interest in Jack's linguistic mission. "Jack, good to finally meet you in person." Zane greeted him enthusiastically in the hub, a central meeting area adorned with models of various star systems. "I've heard you've made quite an impression with the cryptolinguistics team." "Thanks, Zane. It's fascinating work, truly pushing the boundaries of our understanding," Jack replied, shaking Zane's hand warmly. Zane led Jack to a secluded lounge, where they could talk more privately. "I believe there's a synergy between our fields that could benefit your work with the Kthrani. Understanding their star charts and navigation patterns might reveal more about their language structure," Zane suggested, pulling up a hologram of the galaxy. "That's an intriguing angle." "Navigation by the stars has influenced many languages on Earth," Jack mused, leaning closer to the holographic stars that seemed to float around them. As they discussed, Zane shared insights from his recent research where gravitational waves had acted as communication channels for another distant species. Perhaps the Kthrani use similar cosmic phenomena to enhance their communication. It's speculative but worth exploring. Intrigued, Jack proposed setting up a joint session with Slith and the other cryptolinguists. "Let's bring everyone together. Combining our approaches could open new doors." Later that day, Jack and Zane convened a meeting with Slith and another linguist, Dr. Thorell, a human expert in syntactic patterns. The room buzzed with a blend of excitement and intellectual curiosity as each expert shared their perspective. Consider this, Thorell began, pointing to a complex diagram of Cthrani script overlaid with star maps. Their script resembles orbital paths. What if their language is not just about meaning, but also about the position and movement of celestial bodies? Slith chirped excitedly. A cosmic syntax. My team noticed repetitive structures that could align with Zane's gravitational theories. The discussion turned into a brainstorming session, with each suggestion building upon the last. Jack felt a rush of adrenaline as each piece of the puzzle seemed to edge closer to coherence. Let's simulate this alignment using the station's astromapping tools, Zane offered. We might be able to predict their language patterns based on stellar movements. The team agreed, and they spent the next hours immersed in data, their screens filled with a ballet of stars and text. Jack, who had always believed in the power of language to unite, found himself at the heart of perhaps the most literal interpretation of that belief. As the session wrapped up, Jack and Zane walked back to the hub. You know, Jack, this kind of collaboration is what makes this place special. It's not just about our own projects, but how they intersect with universal fabric, Zane reflected, his voice filled with a sense of wonder. Jack nodded, his mind still racing with possibilities. It's like we're not only discovering their language, but also becoming part of their universe. It's humbling and exhilarating at the same time. The day ended with Jack staring out into the void, a soft smile playing on his lips as he pondered over the new frontiers of understanding they were on the brink of uncovering. The universe was speaking, and at last, he was beginning to translate its echoes. Chapter 3, Veil of Stars. Jack awoke to the sound of a gentle alert from his communicator. It was a message from Dr. Keenan Lowe, a cultural anthropologist and another key human member of the Horizon's Edge community. Keenan's work involved the comparative study of societal structures across civilizations, and he believed he had found a cultural link that could assist Jack's linguistic research. Morning, Jack. Could you meet me at the Cultural Synthesis Lab? I've got something that might interest you, the message read. Curious, Jack quickly readied himself and made his way to the designated lab, a place filled with artifacts and multimedia displays from countless worlds. Keenan greeted him with a wide grin and a firm handshake. Thanks for coming, Jack. I've been analyzing patterns in Cthrani artifacts, and I think their cultural context could provide clues to understanding their communication, Keenan explained, leading Jack towards a display of intricate metallic sculptures. These sculptures are not merely art. They're part of the Cthrani-esque ritual communication. Each shape and symmetry could be reflecting aspects of their language, Keenan proposed, pointing out the recurring geometric patterns. Jack was fascinated. This could be a key to unlocking their syntax. Language and culture are deeply intertwined after all. How can we test this theory? I suggest we simulate a Cthrani communication ritual using these patterns. I've prepared a virtual setup that replicates their environmental and social settings, Keenan replied, motioning towards a virtual reality station. The two spent the morning immersed in the virtual world of the Cthrani, observing and participating in digital recreations of their rituals. Jack was particularly struck by the ritualistic use of language during what appeared to be a ceremony of alignment, involving the sculptures and their placement in relation to starlight. This is groundbreaking, Keenan. The way they use their language ritually, it could mean that certain phrases or words are only used in specific context, Jack noted, making detailed recordings. Exactly, Keenan agreed. And notice how the alignments change with the stars. It's as if the language adapts to celestial movements. Inspired, Jack proposed extending this collaborative exploration. Let's bring in Zane and Slith again. If we combine this cultural insight with our linguistic and astrophysical data, we might just crack this wide open. The afternoon was spent in a flurry of collaboration among the experts. Keenan and Jack presented their findings, while Zane added his astrophysical data into the mix. Slith contributed further linguistic analysis, enriching the discussion with insights into possible syntactic structures based on their observations. As they debated and hypothesized, the pieces began to fit together, forming a clearer picture of how the Cthrani might be using their language in tandem with their rituals and understanding of the cosmos. I've never seen anything like this, Zane remarked, clearly impressed. Your finding, Keenan, has given us a whole new dimension to explore. Jack felt a surge of excitement as he realized the potential impact of their work. We're not just learning how they communicate, we're learning why they communicate in this way. It's a unique window into their world. The meeting concluded with plans to publish their interdisciplinary findings, proposing a new model of language study that included cultural rituals and astrophysical influences. As the station's day cycle ended, Jack lingered in the lab, reviewing notes and marveling at the journey of discovery they were on. The mysteries of the Cthrani were slowly unraveling, revealing not just another language, but a whole new way of seeing the universe. With every new discovery, Jack knew they were closer to bridging the gap between humanity and this alien civilization. The stars, once mere points of light, now seemed to him like beacons guiding their way through the veil of the unknown. Chapter 4: Whispers in Twilight. The next phase of Jack's research took him deeper into the realm of Cthrani communication, exploring not only the language's structure, but its application in real-time interactions. Dr. Finn Miles, a human sociolinguist with a flair for decoding the subtleties of interspecies etiquette, reached out to Jack with a new experiment idea. "Jack, I've been thinking," Finn began as they met outside the linguistics lab, "if we could simulate a real Cthrani encounter using VR, we might be able to observe the natural flow of their language in a control environment." Jack was immediately intrigued. "That sounds like a perfect way to see the practical application of our theories. How do you propose we set it up?" Finn led Jack into the VR suite, a room equipped with state-of-the-art technology capable of creating almost any scenario imaginable. "We've programmed a typical Cthrani marketplace. You'll be able to interact with AI-controlled Cthrani using the language patterns we've deciphered so far. It's the closest we can get to a real conversation without direct contact." The VR environment was impressively detailed, replicating the bustling energy of a marketplace. Jack donned the VR headset, and the world transformed around him. He found himself standing in a vibrant market, surrounded by stalls selling exotic goods and digital Cthrani milling about. Try to engage them in conversation. Use the phrases we've identified as greetings and common queries, Finn's voice instructed through the headset. Jack approached a stall, trying out a greeting in Cthrani. The AI vendor responded positively, causing a rush of excitement to surge through Jack. He proceeded to ask about items at the stall, each time getting more comfortable with the language's rhythm and tonality. "This is amazing, Finn. The language flows more naturally than I expected," Jack exclaimed as he removed the headset after the session. Finn was taking notes vigorously. "Your feedback is invaluable. We'll adjust the program to incorporate the nuances you've picked up. This could revolutionize how we prepare for actual first-contact scenarios." Energized by the success of the VR simulation, Jack and Finn decided to present their findings to the station's interdisciplinary committee. They prepared a detailed presentation, highlighting how virtual environments could serve as a bridge for understanding and training before real-life interactions. The presentation was a hit, with several departments expressing interest in collaborating to enhance the simulation's accuracy and depth. "Jack, your hands-on approach might just change how we handle interspecies communication," Dr. Hallberg, the head of the committee, remarked afterwards. "Let's make sure we keep this momentum going." Buoyed by the committee's enthusiasm, Jack and Finn spent the following weeks refining the simulation. They integrated cultural cues and nonverbal communication patterns they had observed from Keenan's cultural analysis, adding layers of complexity to the interaction. Late one evening, as the artificial twilight bathed the station in soft light, Jack and Finn reviewed their latest session. They were in the quiet of the lab, the only sounds the hum of computers and their own conversation. "It's like we're not just teaching a language, Finn. We're teaching a way to connect, to really see another being's world," Jack reflected, his voice soft with wonder. Finn nodded, his eyes reflecting a similar sentiment. "It's more than science. It's almost like art, weaving together all these elements into a coherent, interactive tapestry." As they packed up for the night, Jack felt a profound sense of accomplishment. They were on the cusp of not only understanding, but truly connecting with another species. The whispers of the Cthrani language had grown into clear voices, guiding Jack through the twilight of uncertainty into the promise of dawn. Chapter 5: Bonds Beyond Worlds. After weeks of intensive work, Jack received a breakthrough invitation from Commander Galen, a high-ranking Cthrani official. They had monitored his progress and now extended an offer to discuss his findings directly. Dr. Leo Ashton, a colleague and expert in interstellar diplomatic protocols, was brought in to prepare Jack for this critical meeting. "Jack, this is a significant step," Leo began as they met early in the conference room adorned with screens displaying star maps and linguistic data. "Your discussions with Commander Galen will not just test our linguistic theories, but also set the tone for future human-Kathrani relations. I understand the stakes, Leo. I've gone over the cultural guidelines you sent. Any last-minute advice? Jack asked, adjusting his translator device. Be mindful of their communication style. Kathrani value clarity and directness, but within the framework of respect and formality. Your linguistic skills are impressive, but remember, this is also about building trust, Leo advised, handing Jack a digital folder with additional notes. Jack nodded, taking in every word. I appreciate this, Leo. It's one thing to simulate conversations. It's another to sit down with a real Kathrani. Later that day, Jack entered the designated meeting room, a space designed to accommodate various environmental needs, reflecting the diversity of Horizon's Edge. Commander Galen was already there, his imposing figure marked by the distinguished uniform of his people. Commander Galen, I'm honored to meet you. I am Jack Mercer, Jack said, using the Kathrani formal greeting they had practiced. Dr. Mercer, your efforts have reached us. We are curious about your insights, Galen replied in his resonant voice, the translator capturing every nuance. Jack presented his research, carefully explaining the linguistic connections they had uncovered. He used interactive holograms to illustrate how human and Kathrani communication methods could intertwine. Your work shows promise. It is rare to see such dedication to understanding our ways, Galen observed, his tone indicating approval. Thank you, Commander. I believe that by sharing knowledge, we can forge a path toward mutual understanding and cooperation, Jack responded, his words chosen to reflect both respect and a genuine desire for partnership. Galen nodded slowly. Indeed. We shall consider further exchanges. Perhaps, Dr. Mercer, you could visit our homeworld. Seeing our culture firsthand could enhance your studies. Jack was taken aback by the offer, but quickly recovered. I would be honored, Commander. Experiencing Kathrani culture directly would undoubtedly deepen our understanding. Leo, observing quietly, noted the successful exchange with satisfaction. The meeting concluded with agreements to arrange a visit to the Kathrani homeworld and to continue collaborative research. After Galen left, Leo approached Jack, clapping him on the shoulder. Well done, Jack. You've just opened a door that many thought was locked tight. Jack smiled, feeling a mix of relief and excitement. It feels like we're on the verge of something truly groundbreaking, Leo. In the days that followed, Jack and Leo worked closely to prepare for the upcoming visit. They discussed potential cultural nuances and planned the logistics with both human and Kathrani teams. As Jack packed for the trip, his mind buzzed with the possibilities. This journey could change the course of human-alien relations. He was at the forefront. The bonds they were building went beyond mere words. They were crafting a new chapter in interspecies communication. The chapter closed with Jack looking out of a viewport, the stars streaking by as the shuttle began its journey to the Kathrani homeworld. His heart raced with anticipation, eager to witness the culture he had studied so long and to bring humanity closer to a once-distant civilization. Chapter 6, A Dance of Two Souls. As the shuttle descended into the atmosphere of the Kathrani homeworld, Jack's anticipation grew. The planet was a canvas of vibrant blues and greens, vast oceans interspersed with sprawling continents. Dr. Marcus Flint, a human exobiologist who had spent years studying Kathrani flora and fauna, accompanied him. Ever think you'd be seeing this with your own eyes, Jack? Marcus asked, his voice filled with excitement as they peered out of the shuttle window. It's more beautiful than I imagined, Jack replied, his eyes fixed on the approaching landscape. I'm grateful for your guidance, Marcus. I know how much your work here means to you. Marcus smiled, and I'm glad to share it. The biological diversity here is astounding. It mirrors their culture, complex and interconnected. Upon landing, they were greeted by Kathrani officials and a familiar face, Commander Galen. His presence underscored the importance of Jack's visit. Welcome to our world, Dr. Mercer. We have prepared a series of engagements to familiarize you with our culture, Galen announced, leading them through a bustling spaceport. Their first stop was a cultural exhibit, where Jack and Marcus were introduced to various aspects of Kathrani life, from traditional art forms to their architectural marvels. Each exhibit was a blend of ancient traditions and advanced technology, a balance Jack found profoundly enlightening. This structure is built in harmony with our planet's magnetic fields, explained a Kathrani guide, pointing to a spiraling building that shimmered under the planet's twin suns. It enhances our connectivity with each other and the universe. Jack took careful notes, his mind racing with ideas of how these principles could be related to their language's reliance on celestial patterns. Your architecture seems to speak the same language as your people, he commented, genuinely impressed. Yes, it is all connected, the guide agreed, nodding with a smile. Later, Jack and Marcus attended a traditional dance performance, where the movements of the dancers seemed to narrate historical events and cosmic tales. Marcus, with his background in biology, whispered to Jack, "Notice the synchronization? It's like a visual representation of their social and biological links." "It's mesmerizing," Jack whispered back, completely captivated by the fluid motions that told stories of stars, planets, and the very fabric of Cthrani society. That evening, Jack had the opportunity to discuss linguistics with Cthrani scholars. They delved deep into discussions about the symbiotic relationship between their language, culture, and the natural world. As our world revolves, so does our way of expression. What you see as dance and architecture is also embedded in how we communicate, explained one scholar, a leading expert in Cthrani linguistics. Jack's understanding deepened, and he shared insights from his own research, drawing parallels that were met with nods of agreement and intrigue from the Cthrani. As the meeting concluded, Galen approached Jack. "Your insights are invaluable, Dr. Mercer. It's clear you have a profound respect for our culture." "Thank you, Commander. This visit has been enlightening. I hope to reflect this depth in my ongoing work," Jack replied, feeling a sense of accomplishment. As Jack and Marcus walked back to their accommodations under the light of the twin suns, they discussed the day's experiences. "We're not just building bridges with words, Marcus. We're weaving them with every shared experience," Jack said thoughtfully. "Exactly," Marcus agreed. "It's a dance of two souls, human and Cthrani, learning the steps together." That night, Jack lay awake, his mind buzzing with ideas, and his heart full of hope. The connection between their worlds was strengthening, and he was playing a crucial role in this historic convergence. The dance of two souls, indeed, was becoming a symphony of mutual understanding. Chapter 7: A Human's Love Across Alien Skies. After a week filled with immersive cultural experiences, Jack and Marcus prepared for the climax of their visit, a public forum where Jack would share his findings and insights into Cthrani language and culture with both human and alien audiences. The event was set to be broadcast across the galaxy, symbolizing a pivotal moment in interspecies understanding. Marcus, always the supportive colleague, patted Jack on the back as they approached the grand auditorium. "This is it, Jack. All your hard work, right here?" Jack nodded, feeling the weight and excitement of the moment. "Thanks, Marcus. Let's hope it makes the impact we're aiming for." Inside the auditorium, a diverse crowd had gathered. Human delegates mixed with various alien representatives, all buzzing with anticipation. Commander Galen was there to introduce Jack, his presence lending gravitas to the occasion. "Ladies and gentlemen, beings of all origins," Galen began, his voice echoing in the vast space. "Today, we witness a unique sharing of knowledge and friendship. Dr. Jack Mercer will speak on our shared language and the bonds we are forging." Jack stepped up to the podium, his heart racing but his voice steady. "Thank you, Commander Galen. It's a privilege to stand here under a sky that, although alien to some of us, brings us together in our quest for understanding." He continued, detailing his linguistic journey, explaining how the Cthrani's integration of celestial movements into their language mirrored their deep connection to the cosmos. The audience listened intently as Jack described the profound implications these discoveries had for both human and Cthrani societies. "As we've learned, language is not just a tool for communication but a reflection of our very beings and our place in the universe," Jack elaborated, his words resonating across the room. The discussion opened up, and various scholars and delegates posed questions, delving deeper into the technical and philosophical impacts of Jack's research. A Cthrani poet, intrigued by the human perspective, asked Jack about the emotional aspects of language. Jack responded, "Language bridges our worlds, not just through the mind, but through the heart. Our discussions here, the sharing of our cultural heritages, it's a testament. No, it's a celebration of our diverse perspectives and mutual respect." The phrase, "a human's love across alien skies," became a focal point of his closing remarks, symbolizing the affection and respect that had grown between the two species, fostered by shared endeavors and understanding. After the forum, Jack and Marcus celebrated with their new Cthrani friends and colleagues. The atmosphere was jovial, filled with laughter and shared stories. Galen approached Jack, a smile on his usually stoic face. "Dr. Mercer, your words today have moved many. You've painted a picture of possibility and hope with your eloquent speech and deep respect for our culture. Jack felt a surge of pride and gratitude. Thank you, Commander. This journey has been one of the most profound experiences of my life. Your people's warmth and wisdom have been a gift. As the celebrations wound down, Marcus and Jack stepped outside, looking up at the starry sky. The twin suns had set, and the stars shone brightly, a tapestry of light that stretched across the heavens. Jack, think of all the people listening tonight from here to the far reaches of space, Marcus said, his voice reflective. Jack smiled, his gaze fixed on the stars. I hope our words tonight remind everyone that our skies, no matter how alien, can be shared with love and understanding. Under those alien skies, Jack realized the true extent of what they had achieved, not just the advancement of knowledge, but the creation of a bridge between hearts and minds across the cosmos. As they returned to their quarters, the sense of a journey not just travel but also begun filled him with anticipation for the future. Chapter 8. The Harmony of Existence. As Jack's visit drew to a close, the impact of his work began to resonate not only among the scholars and delegates, but also within the broader communities of both humans and Cthrani. Before his departure, a final gathering was organized, a cultural exchange event designed to celebrate the newfound connections between the two species. Marcus and Jack walked toward the venue, their conversation reflective and optimistic. You know, Jack, seeing everything come together like this, it's more than just academic success. It feels like we're part of something much larger, Marcus mused, looking around at the banners displaying symbols of human and Cthrani unity. Jack nodded in agreement. It's like we've tuned into a new harmony, one that plays across the stars. Today, we're not just sharing findings, we're sharing the future. At the event, cultural artifacts, music, and art from Earth mingled with those of the Cthrani. Jack was particularly drawn to a joint art piece created by human and Cthrani artists, a mural depicting the blending of two cultures, vibrant with colors and symbols from both worlds. As Jack admired the artwork, Dr. Elias Cortez, a human cultural historian, joined him. It's something, isn't it? To think that a few weeks of collaboration could produce a piece so profound. It's the perfect representation of what we've achieved here, Jack replied, his eyes tracing the flow of the intertwined symbols. The event was filled with laughter, music, and the sharing of stories. Jack and Elias moved through the crowd, engaging with both humans and Cthrani, their conversations rich with anecdotes and insights. Later, Jack took the stage to address the gathering, his voice carrying clearly over the crowd. Today, we stand together, not as strangers from distant worlds, but as fellow travelers on the same cosmic journey. A Cthrani elder, renowned for his wisdom, joined Jack on stage. Dr. Mercer speaks truly. Our paths have intersected in the most beautiful of ways, through understanding and shared curiosity. The elder's words were met with applause, and as the clapping died down, he presented Jack with a gift, a small, intricately carved artifact that symbolized knowledge and friendship. Jack accepted the artifact, his voice warm with gratitude. I'm honored by this gift and by the openness and warmth I have received here. This is not just a token of friendship, but a symbol of the bridges we have built together. As the night progressed, the atmosphere was buoyant, with performances showcasing both human and Cthrani talents. Jack, standing beside Marcus and Elias, watched as a group of Cthrani musicians performed a piece that they had composed in collaboration with human composers, a melody that seemed to capture the essence of their collective journey. It's fascinating, Elias said, leaning over to speak to Jack. This music, it's neither human nor Cthrani, but something new entirely. It's amazing what we can create together. As the celebration drew to a close, Jack felt a profound sense of fulfillment and optimism. The relationships formed, the knowledge shared, and the cultural boundaries crossed had created a lasting impact that would extend far beyond the personal. In his final moments on the Cthrani homeworld, Jack looked up at the night sky, the stars gleaming brighter than ever. He knew that the bonds formed here would continue to grow, fostering further explorations and understanding. With a final glance at the gathering, smiling faces illuminated by starlight, Jack and Marcus made their way back to the shuttle. As they boarded, ready to return to Horizon's Edge, Jack felt a deep, satisfying peace. This journey, he said to Marcus as the shuttle began to lift off, has truly shown us the harmony of existence. And it's only the beginning. As the shuttle ascended, leaving the planet's atmosphere, Jack watched the Cthrani homeworld shrink away, a beautiful gem amidst the vastness of space. He carried with him not just memories and experiences, but a new vision for the future, one of unity, understanding, and shared destiny among the stars.